in. This is your July 2020 Tarotscope for the sign of the lovely Pisces. Scorpio and Cancer have been done. Cancer, unfortunately, did not broadcast to the business page. So those of you that are looking for the Cancer video, you need to go to my YouTube channel. Unfortunately, it's in 3 parts because my internet kept dropping. So for those of you that are Cancer sign people, there is a Cancer video. I started off with Cancer because it's Cancer's birthday month, but the video kept dropping. What I am doing, this is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, or heavily placed planets in Pisces. So for those of you that are tuning in, please watch. You can cross-watch if you like a Pisces. Like me, if you have a secret crush on me, you can watch it and say, oh my god, this is the month he's gonna have. I did something different this month because, hey, Patricia Brigham, all right on, Pisces, swim on, girl. So I did do something different this month. I decided to add in a couple extra cards. We've had such a rough year. I was inspired to add this animal spirit card at the beginning. The significance of this animal spirit card is something for us to concentrate on in the month of July. An animal spirit to call in to empower us, right? And whatever qualities it has, it's going to teach us, or it's showing us the qualities that we have within us already that we can utilize to make the best out of our July, if that makes sense. The last card that I'll be pulling is from the Divine Doors deck. All of these decks will be linked in the video descriptions on the YouTube channel. So if you go over to YouTube later, you can find links for these decks in the drop-down description once they're fully uploaded. If you purchase the deck through my Amazon affiliate links, I get a small percentage of the sale. And that's it. Let's see what's up for Pisces. I'm interested to see what they get for their cards, because both Cancer and Scorpio look to be having really good Julys. But I just felt like between murder hornets, COVID-19, racial, outcry, and the stuff that's going on in the world right now, which I do feel is needed, and I do feel is like transforming us in ways we don't even fully understand. This animal spirit card is to help carry us through in a way. Okay, tomorrow I will be, or if I feel inspired, I may start the fire signs tonight. They'll be the next group to go, just for anybody that's watching, looking for Leo, Sagittarius, and what's my other fire? Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. Okay, so let me see here. All right, Pisces, what's up for you, my sweet Pisces? Oh, okay, Cheetah. Get it? Pisces looks like they're running away. Oh, okay, I can relate. So this is an earth element animal. When I think of cheetahs, cheetahs pick up fast speed. Cheetahs can move quickly like no other. Like, I'm thinking that I'm gonna have to see the cards for Pisces, but I don't like this cheetah. I'm gonna be honest, I feel like this is like the world is just too much for Pisces, my sensitive baby Pisces, and trust me, I am a Pisces, so I love us. I think that we're some of the most emotionally sensitive people in the world, and that makes us beautiful. But we might be a little bit too sensitive for what is going on or what could be coming in July. And I feel like this cheetah is straight running off the screen like, screw this, I'm out. I'm gonna take the month off. And that might be what Pisces needs. There's nothing wrong with that, right? I do want to say that cheetah's the fastest animal, cannot be caught. And as Pisces, when we don't want to be caught, we can swim right away. So there's always that idea too. It is a predator, right? So, Pisces does have the ability and the wherewithal to outrun some of our competitors. I'm going to say that. I do want to say this though, Pisces. Cheetah, to me, this energy, as I'm looking at this card, it kind of taps me into this place of, cheetahs can sprint really fast, but for a really short amount of times, I believe. I mean, I don't know how long they can actually run. I'm not a botanist or Kalahari scientist or whatever. But a cheetah can run at like breakneck speed and take down a gazelle. But if anything goes wrong in that, maneuver and the gazelle breaks left or whatever and the cheetah misses its mark, the cheetah will tire out. And so that's some of this energy too. So if Pisces finds themselves a little high wired in the month of July, let's have cheetah remind us to sort of slow ourselves down at times, that we can pick up the speed at any point in time, but to be mindful of our energy is kind of how I feel, or the speed with which we move through the month of July. I do get this sense, though, that this cheetah is running away from whatever is going on in July. God knows what's going to show up in July. Let's see what's going on. I have, not only am I a Pisces sun sign, I have a Pisces Venus and a Pisces Mercury. So I communicate like a Pisces and I love like a Pisces. So my cheetah be running, bitch. He'll be like, poof. Like I just see little like clouds of smoke right behind his little ass, and he's out of here. He's like, douche, see ya. Alright, let's see. And please share this video out with any Pisces that you may know, love, or want to, think might relate. I would greatly appreciate it. And let's see what's up with the Pisces Nation. Okay, so this first card represents as the center for Pisces in the month of July. This is where we're centered at most of the time, not all of the time through July. But the reason why we look at this card is to give us not only insight into what we're creating, but where we're at, but what we could be creating for the future potentially. So let's see. All right, so we have the Six of Pentacles. This is not such a horrible card. I'll just let you guys look at the art. She's kind of feeling herself with her handmaiden right there. Okay, but I feel like this is Pisces. I instantly get this feeling of, how they talk about how Pisces lives with rose-colored glasses, right? I feel like this is us feeling ourselves a little bit in the month of July. Pentacles being the element of earth, that's okay for me. I like that because that's our complementary element, and I also like that it's an earth element, which feels to me that we will be connected to the earth or grounded into the earth, right? I feel like there's a sense of grounding there. But when I look at this in all of her finery, I kind of feel like this might be Pisces putting on a front a little bit, or sort of like I feel like she's dressed up to go to a party that's not gonna happen. Do you see what I'm saying, guys? Do you sense that feeling from this card? And I don't necessarily, that's not a traditional meaning with the Six of Pentacles, but to me, that's how I feel. It's like we've gotten all dressed up to show up to the party, and we're like, wait a second, this isn't the party we wanted to come to. And I mean that sort of like, we might find that we're not really relating to our environment very well. That could be all of the fucking planets in retrograde. Let's just say that. I'm sorry, I swear like a trucker, but I am feeling that already. I can tell you that. It's driving me crazy a little bit emotionally, and I can already see that a little bit. My patience is thin. My patience is usually always a little bit on the thin side, but lately it's been rough. Venus has gone direct, but we still have 5 other planets, including Neptune, which is our home planet, in retrograde. Some biggies are in retrograde too, like Saturn, and it's just like no joke. Mercury's in retrograde through the first half of July. It's like, so this could be us kind of trying to stay grounded, doing a fairly good job, but not feeling like we're really connecting to the earth. And that's some of this cheetah energy too, is like at any point in time that we want to like bail, I think it's okay to do that. Just stay kind of grounded is the best way that I want to blend these two cards together. I do feel like I almost want to say like this is as the center card, it feels like we're not fully based in reality. Or the reality that's going on around us isn't matching the reality that we desire. I feel like her in this dress to me is really drawing my attention. I feel like she's wanting the world to be a better place and it's just not yet, and she's not understanding why. And maybe that's my own trip, but I kind of feel like that could apply to even smaller environmental situations going on around us throughout the month of July with coworkers or with partners or with family members, where we're just not feeling like we're really getting connecting in that way, if that makes sense, or it's not really living up to our expectations in some way. Now let's look at the foundation card. The foundation card, I always use the analogy of a foundation of a house. This is sort of what everything is built on. It's usually a card from the past that gives me a little insight into why things are the way that they are. It's also the memory of this card that holds everything in place. Okay, hello, Nine of Pentacles. Now this is usually the Lonely Lady card. She's the one that's in the field on a traditional Rider-Waite deck. She's usually, I believe, in a field with a bunch of uh, wine vineyardy things, right? She's kind of the Lonely Lady. To me, this being of the past, I feel like we felt better before. I feel like the 9 dropping down to the 6, just from a basic numerological standpoint, feels like somewhere we're losing something. I feel like the 9s usually represent personal completion. And so to me, this 9 of Cups being the foundation, or this 9 of Pentacles being the foundation, speaks to this idea of feeling sort of abundant, fulfilled, maybe being alone, maybe being solo, kind of, I see this Indian man here in this card. To me, this speaks to like a spirit guide that she's talking to, or some sort of, she's not alone by any means. The falcon also speaks to the idea of spirit or being connected, but she's kind of having a conversation amongst herself. I do feel like she is connected and happy and content. Here, she feels like the like sort of the reality is setting in. She's lost she's lost a few pentacles, and she's starting to realize like, oh shit, the planets really are retrograde. This is not the party I want to be at. I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think that, and I like that this is a lot of earth energy. To me, that feels grounded, right? And the 9 feels like at one point in time, we did feel self-sufficient and secure, right? We may not feel quite that secure right now going through the month of July. That's that 6 of Pentacles, but it doesn't feel horrible to me. It just feels a little bit like our Pisces, how do I want to put this? Like our Pollyanna rose-colored glasses might get shattered a little bit, or the reality might not match up to the fantasy so much for Pisces throughout the month of July. And that's okay. That happens to us, right? And we may want to run. We may want to use this cheetah energy and be like, let's beat it. Like, be like Michael Jackson and beat it on out of here. Because, sometimes when a Pisces can't dream, it's no bueno for the Pisces. So let's see what the higher self wants. This is the Spirit or Soul card for the month of July. This will tell us a little bit about sort of what the Spirit or Soul is seeking, what our highest goal is for the month of July, where it's focused. Oh shit. Okay. So this is the 3 of Swords. Okay. So first off, I'm going to say that angel, he's pointing to the future. I feel like that's Cupid a little bit. I feel like there's that woman in the water. I mean, this 3 of Swords is always this sort of sad card, right? To me, it's about heartbreak. It's about feeling let down. This being in the spirit or soul space says to me that like our soul wants us to do some work. Our soul may need us to like sort of heal our heart, and that might be part of any areas where we've maybe been let down or felt like maybe the reality didn't match the dream or the fantasy, and having to sort of reconcile that in the month of July, and that might be why Pisces wants to run. But what I do want to say is that with the 3 of Swords, there's always this idea that the heart is stronger than the 3 swords, or at least that's what I always see in the imagery, is it's just like you just need to pull out those 3 swords and your heart will be whole again. It's funny we have 3, 6, and 9. So this may be a rough month for Pisces. But I do feel like with that 3 of Swords up in the spirit space, it speaks to this idea that there will be a lot of transformative healing going on for Pisces if they're willing to do it, if they don't cut and run. if they actually sit still with themselves and they face themselves and they utilize this Pentacles energy to sort of get themselves back to what they maybe had, right? Not to what they had, but to what they can attain. Pisces can be major creators when they want to be, right? We have the power and the sort of that belief in magic and imagination and that sense of dreaming that like no other sign in the zodiac has. And I think that sometimes when we go too far into that dreaming, we get lost, as beautiful as it is. And then when we come back out of it, it can be a little bit of a culture shock. I think that's what this Three of Swords is a little bit. But I think that what ends up happening for the Pisces is that we end up stronger, smarter. Swords is the element of the intellect, right? With that heart there, it's about sort of mending the harms of the heart. And these could be old harms. They don't even have to be current harms. They could be things that we've carried with us for many, many, years that we just haven't really dealt with. And it's maybe now is the time to sort of address those things that have hurt us or that we've carried for so long. It's certainly something that our spirit wants us to face. So it's time to do that work. Now, the next two cards are what I call the outside influences. These are things that are around you. They're not necessarily of you, but they're around you, affecting you in the month of July. They could be people or places, events, that kind of thing, or they could be things more vague like energies or belief systems that are having an effect on us during the month of July. So this is the Devil. It's funny this card should show up. The Devil, I think is Capricorn energy. It is major arcana. To me, I feel like there's this big lesson here. The Devil always represents sort of this idea of temptation. This idea, it can be sometimes things as basic as substance abuse, sex addiction, alcoholism. Sometimes it can be laziness. For Pisces especially, it can be laziness, overeating, anything where we do things sort of obsessively or compulsively. The Devil sort of is showing us those areas, right? The Devil sort of brings that out in us, and in anybody. But in this scenario, I feel like this is the energy of that. There is a situation that is around us that will be rather significant in the month of July that is challenging us. And it may be, I hate to future predict, but it gives me a little bit of worry that this Devil is sort of, looks like he's riding this cat off into the future. Like, we might be struggling with this for a minute, my Pisces. But I feel like with it being the Devil, the significance of the Devil card is that it's a big sort of challenge to overcome. And if we do it, we end up gaining a lot of strength and a lot of reward. I also feel like this Devil could be connected to this Three of Swords in some way for some of my Pisces. Now, this Devil could be somebody that has been sort of maybe misused us in some way. It could be in something that we've misused in some way. But whatever it is, it's definitely sort of showing itself to us in the month of July, or we're having to see it or face it and deal with it. If we don't, it's going to sort of wreak havoc, is my feeling. It's going to just sort of make things feel all the more uncomfortable, potentially moving forward. I kind of feel like it's also part and parcel with this, like this Three of Swords up here in the higher self soul space, to me says if we don't deal with the pains and the sort of maybe the crutches or whatever it is that we have in our heart, we're not really prepared to kind of take this on or slay this Devil in a way. Whatever this Devil may be for you personally. It could be the overspending of money. It could be the obsession over fear. Like maybe we're watching too much news, too much Facebook, and freaking out and allowing it to unground us and send us into emotional tailspins, send us into a cheetah energy where we're running too fast or going too fast and we can't calm down. This is the thing where when we feel our pulse amping up or whatever, we need to think about this cheetah and be reminded of the fact that we don't have to run. We can run at any time, but sometimes it's like this is story time. the way I quit cigarettes was I kept a full pack of cigarettes on my nightstand while I was sick, when I was a smoker years and years ago. And I was so phlegmy, gross sick that I knew that if I needed a cigarette, it was right there if I needed it. And I went like a week because I stayed sick for so long that I just didn't smoke. And then I was like, at that point, it was like, don't smoke ever again. And then choosing not to is all the more powerful, right? Versus, and maybe that knowing that at any point in time, if we want to remove ourselves, we can. That might be the power that the cheetah's trying to show us, so that we choose to stay, we choose to do the work, we choose to face the devils in our lives or the things that are challenging us, and we choose to address them and sort of hopefully put an end to them or no longer allow them to sort of control us. Now, the other outside influence, let's see what this is. This is the Six of Wands. So this is the element of fire and the spirit. To me, there's two people on a horse like traveling away, right? When I look at the devil and I look at the Six of Wands, I feel like I worry or I wonder if Pisces has people around them that aren't necessarily in their best interest. Oh, and that's a little sound from my dog from the universe, just giving him that's an affirmative, maybe yes. I get a feeling that quite possibly there might have been inklings or intuitions leading up to this point for my Pisceans that have told us that maybe this isn't the best option for us, or maybe this isn't the right person for us, or maybe this isn't the best friend for us, or maybe this isn't the best boss for us. Whatever it is, I feel like this Six of Wands is also sort of telling us about that. And I feel like there is sort of maybe separations or departures that might need to be taking place in the month of July. I think that these things are going to be for the benefit of Pisces, but I don't necessarily know that they will be easy, if that makes sense. So let me look at the outside, this is the potential outcomes card for the month of July. Now, this is not going to apply to all of you, and it is potential. In essence, this is where things are naturally heading, barring that nothing major changes. So if this is something negative, we can use it as a warning and make choices and changes to avoid the outcome of this card happening, right? But if it is positive, we can take heart in the fact that we're heading sort of towards this outcome no matter what. So let's see what it is. Okay, so this is the Lovers. This is the element of air, the sign of Gemini. It's interesting to me that we have this Earth Cheetah energy. We have all of this Earth energy running through here and here. And then we have, we end with the Lovers. That's kind of confusing to me. I'm applying it to my own life, but I'll deal with that later. The Lovers is sort of a union. And when I think about this, I feel like Pisces needs to clean some shit up. And I'm not talking about our own shit, but I feel like there has been, when I'm looking at these cards, I'm feeling like Pisces has let people, i.e. devils, or like the Six of Wands, has let people kind of like maybe do things, say things, do things that we don't agree with, or that we haven't spoken up about, or that we haven't sort of like stood in our power and really spoken about it, right? This is this Nine of Pentacles to me, is that it's about Pisces being true to themselves in the past and knowing what was true, being grounded in that and owning that. With this Six of Pentacles, it's like we kind of lost sight of that. We kind of maybe gave the benefit of the doubt out to too many people, or we might still be giving the benefit of the doubt out to too many people in the month of July as our center, and kind of wishing for the best and not really seeing that coming. When we see that not coming, we feel the pain of that in our heart, right? Or we see the repeat patterns of that. Maybe we've done that before with other people that we've cared dearly about. We forgave them, or we let them in. Whatever it may be, right? Whatever they've done, I feel like there's going to be opportunities around us that are going to challenge us in such a way that we need to sort of stand against them, draw the line in the sand, draw the boundary, do whatever it is we need to do to make the separations to be clean and clear. Some of us may need to even hightail it up out of certain situations. This could be relationships, this could be jobs, this could be things that are just no longer working for us. But we're going to have to be very clear on whether or not it's them or us. And I think that there is a clarity here, but we also need to do this work in the soul space with this Three of Swords to make sure that our heart and our head is clear before we sort of step forward. The ending outcome is this Lover's card, which to me speaks to this idea of not only, I mean, from a very legit spot, I feel like some of us will find appreciation in certain people around us where we come closer to them because we realize who's real and who's not. But also for some of us, this Lover's card could represent the bonding and the understanding within ourselves and the true love and appreciation of ourselves, the protection of ourselves, being guarded by this angel. Again, we, like I said, we have this sort of Cupid, right? He's sort of here pointing to the future and going like, do this work with me, Pisces. Pull out these three swords. Sorry, it's sort of out of focus. Pull out these three swords and do this mental work and this emotional work. And by month's end, look at how much bigger the angel is, right? Presiding over the lovers, presiding over the union, presiding over sort of being more empowered and more sort of centered. There is a peacefulness by the end of July that will happen. And for some of you, there's an opportunity here to change situations. I want to say this, and I'm one of them, is what I feel like. I feel like in my own personal life, when I'm looking at these cards, I see something here that says to me that something can transform, but I have to concentrate on my stuff, right? I have to work on my part of it before the rest can transform, right? So that makes sense to me. For some of you, that may also make sense to you. So this Lover's card to me speaks to this positive outcome. This positive outcome could be a better understanding and a union with oneself, okay? But it will be a powerful union. It will be a powerful honoring. It will be the strength of that idea of what I was saying with this cheetah energy is instead of like running off, knowing that we can and still making the choice to sit and do the work. That is the power that brings about this sort of this opportunity of that love of self, that appreciation of self, that awareness that I'm worth it, that union, that celebration, that deep love and opportunity that comes from that. That's for my singles Pisces, right? For my coupled Pisces that might be having relationship troubles, this could be an opportunity where if we slay some of these devils or the things that we're maybe not looking at, not wanting to see, not wanting to deal with, or trying to like dodge altogether because we don't want the conflict or we don't want whatever, we need to sort of work on them and ourselves to hopefully get to this better sense of a union by the month's end of July. So not all hope is lost for those of you that heard me talking about separations and things like that. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to separate, but I do feel like there's some work to be done. It's not just like an easy peasy fix. That devil card says to me, some of y'all have either a boyfriend that's, got some problems, or you're obsessed over a guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this devil card is no joke. Like, to me, there's an elephant in the room that Pisces might be going, that elephant isn't there. Have you seen my dress? It's lovely. That's this Six of Pentacles energy, where I feel like Pisces is not wanting to look at the thing in the room that might be causing them extreme pain. And that thing might be the thing that we love the most, right? That doesn't mean that that's, and I want to express this to you. This devil card doesn't necessarily mean that they're a bad person or that they're a devil per se. It could just mean that they're doing all the exact things that are hurting you or causing you stress, strife, whatever, in an effort to sort of trigger those buttons so that you do address them, because this is what your soul wants. I'm not giving them a pass by any means, right? They're still represented as the devil. But it's almost like there's almost two choices here. There's one like to walk away and separate, or one to like stay and fight this devil and deal. All right, so let's look at the divine doors really quick. Now, this is the last card, and this is sort of like what doors are we opening, closing, what should we be focusing on? So let's look at what this is for my Pisces for the month of July. I hope this makes sense for you guys. I know, Jessica Marie, I feel the same way. I'm a Pisces with a Aries rising and a Aquarius moon. That's weird. We're kind of the opposite. We each have fire, and then Aquarius. Um, and I've been waiting to go, and I'm not sure where. I feel like my house is on the market, and now I'm not sure I want to sell, but I know that I don't want to be here, and I just feel like I'm like not in the right place. It's like we're dressed up for a party that we're not showing up to. Do you know what I mean? Like we're like, wait a second, what's going on? Like we've been preparing for something that's not quite here yet. And so there's still some work to be done up here in the soul space is kind of how I feel. Hey Gwendolyn, Sarah, how are you, dear? So I feel like this is not a horrible month. It's just challenging for Pisces because we are such sort of sweet souls, right? That we tend to be very sensitive. And so this is going to be some work for us, but we're tough. We have to remember that. We don't want to run. I think this cheetah is to let us know, don't worry, we can get away if we need to. Don't let it stay and be the predator. Hunt it down and kill that shit. All right, so here's your door, Pisces. Now, this is a lovely, stately door, right? It's beautiful, strong, lovely. I love how we have 3, 6, 9, and then we have these three panes in the door, which makes me think of, there's sort of synchronicity there. We also have another 6 here. Lots of 3 energy going on. We also have the 6 card in the Lovers, so we have 666, which is the devil. What the fuck? Ew, how weird is that? Because this is 6 in the major arcana, so we have 666 and the devil card. Girls, like, I'm just going to say this. Whatever we are dealing with in the month of July, it is going to fucking work our puss. I'm just saying. It's going to be it's like, I just get the feeling from this devil card that it's going to be undeniable. Whatever we have been putting off or like trying to like avoid or not look at, it's going to drive us nuts by July if we're not careful. And it's going to show up in the form of this devil card on the outer influence. This 6, 6, and 6, but the last 6 is the Lovers, so we end up at this better place at the end of it all. But it's just interesting to me. So we have the 3 panes on the door. Let's see what the door's message is. Anthony's call. In thanks of my spirit, safe and sound, all things that are lost, so can be found. Do you see that? In thanks of my spirit, safe and sound, all things that are lost, so can be found. All things that are lost, so can be found. There's some healing work that needs to happen here for my Pisces for the month of July. And the reason why I say that that's all things that are lost. Whatever's happened to us in the past, whatever fears drive us forward, whatever sort of things that we're trying to avoid, whatever that may be, those are the things that are lost. It says all things that are lost, so can be found. I feel like we need to do that work so that we can find ourselves. And that's this Lovers card in the end. It will be profound. And we are protected. We have like this, I know this sounds silly, but we have this angel and this Cupid up here in the soul space. They're looking over us. They're watching over us. We can do this work and we have to be brave. Whatever it is, the thing that we're trying not to see, the thing that we're trying not to look at, even if that's a global thing. Like right now, I try not to watch the news. I try not to watch, if I'm being 100% honest, I'm scared about what's going on in the world. This is not the party I wanted to go to. It breaks my heart. Ugh. So I would look up St. Anthony. Maybe get a St. Anthony medal for the month of July, y'all. And ask him for his help in helping you find whatever it is that you need so that you can get through this month and do the healing work that you need to do. Because the payoff is huge. The Lovers card is a good card. It's a beautiful card. It's an opportunity to at least find union within your own self. Whether or not it leads to union with another really isn't the important aspect of this. The important aspect is finding that union and that sort of whatever was lost within yourself, to find that, to have that be found again. And that is your July 2020 reading. I was hoping for better, guys. Let's be honest. But it's not horrible. I've seen worse readings. So I just think keep the faith. Certainly Pisces is the sign that can do that. And remember your strength, and be tough like the cheetah, like Lisa says. And call on St. Anthony throughout the month if you need to. And my Pisces will be okay. And we'll see what happens in the next month. This has just been a rough year, guys. It just feels like a roller coaster of a year, and I think that we've got one more month of roller coaster. I was kind of hopeful because Cancer and Scorpio are going to have a great month. So I'm kind of pissed. But that's okay. I can deal with it. I know I'm strong. I'm just sort of tripping on the 666 and then the devil. That's kind of weird that that's all in there too. It's just like it may come to it for some of my Pisces. It doesn't have to be for all of you, but it just feels like for some of you the shit that's undeniable. Like, let's just be thankful that this is not a tower moment. But to me, it kind of feels like it could be a tower moment, in the sense that whatever we've been avoiding or not dealing with or kind of not looking at, trying to pretend we're okay with, it's no longer going to be okay, and we're going to have to fix it. Yes, we are all in a roller coaster right now, Gwendolyn. Completely. Completely, completely, completely. All right, so that is your Pisces forecast for the month of July. Thank you, guys. I will start the fire signs tomorrow, and we will go through those, and maybe I'll try and get 6 signs done tomorrow. I did these sort of late, but it will be on the wall in a minute to Pat, and you'll be able to see it in just a moment. It will go live on the wall once I sign off, and then you can watch everything for Pisces. So that is your guys' message, and I will see you guys next month. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to rewatch this, please feel free to go over to the YouTube page. Anybody that's not following me on YouTube, please go over and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Even if you're a Facebooker, I need subscriptions over there. So if you guys could go over and subscribe to the channel, I'd greatly appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you guys next month. All right. And you guys can always tune in every morning. There's a daily forecast on the YouTube channel. So you get notified when I upload the forecast for the day for everyone. All right, you guys, have a great day. And I will see you guys tomorrow in the morning and then with the fire signs. All right. Bye-bye.